Hey, how's everyone doing today? It's New York Dan here. Yeah, coming to you this afternoon on a Saturday. Yeah, you know what? It's been a tough week, huh? There's been a lot of stuff going on with that tariff situation, the stock market, the whole bit. Yeah, I'm going to talk about this. I'm going to talk about it. What else is going on? I saw Sarasota's video. He went to McDonald today and they messed his order up. They didn't give him enough stuff. So he turned around and he went back. He wanted to he ended up getting a free coffee. He talked them into it. He's like, I had to drive all the way back here. You got to do me a favor. Yup. Well, here's the deal. Reason I brought it up in my comments, subscriber had mentioned Tim's not living at the trailer. That's what a lot of people are speculating that he lives at the apartment over by Miss Tammy at her place. Yeah, they speculate that, but I'm not so sure about it. When he was driving today, he went by that Auto Nation Ford, right? So unless they got an Auto Nation Ford like that right in Sarasota, Florida, it looks like he was. I know exactly where that is too, because I drove around the area. He was like right around the corner from his place. So that shows that he probably was at the trailer. I don't know. He was getting that biscuit. I guess he eats the biscuit too, not just Miss Tammy. Yeah, unless she's staying at the trailer. I don't know. Speculation. But yeah, Mickey D's, those biscuits. The only thing fishy about those biscuits, if you don't eat that thing when it's fresh made, yeah, you know what happens to it? Something very strange. By the end of the day, that thing turns into like a rock. What are they putting in that biscuit? You got to wonder. You really got to wonder what's in there that's doing that. Real butter doesn't turn into a rock like that, does it? What's in that thing? Some kind of oils. It's probably not good for the heart. If it does that, if you think about it, if you just leave the biscuit and it turns into something like that, what's it doing inside your body? There's the question right there. Yeah, people don't want to hear it. I know you like them biscuits. It's a delicious biscuit. Put some jam on it. Mickey D's. I don't know if they serve them all day or not. I need to get some have a snack myself. It's almost dinner time now, but yeah. Oh, I got a cool Fort Lauderdale video for you guys. I'm gonna put up tonight. Yup. Just was putting it together, looking at the thing. Came out really well. Back at the home base in Boca here, and yeah, bad week, guys. Bad week. I'm about to head back myself. And as you know, luckily I haven't really been doing trading because I've been busy, been on vacation. Yeah, the trading is brutal when the market's like that. My friend Ken, Long Island Ken, he's had it tough. Yeah. He even said, he texted me today something about he's done with stocks. He's just going to do Bitcoin or crypto. I think that's even worse, guys. I don't know what's going on. I'll have to meet with him. We'll do a breakfast soon. We'll do a Ken breakfast. So, yeah, the markets, the tariffs, the whole mess of a situation this week, right? Well, here's the thing. The way I look at it, I have certain things I'm just holding, right? And it's kind of hard to picture this, but it's actually a buying opportunity when the markets are doing this kind of thing. Yeah, a couple of days where they got really smashed. However, here's the thing. You got to look at the individual stock too. It's not necessarily a buying opportunity for stocks that are really affected by the tariffs. Nike, I heard, they make a lot of stuff in Vietnam. They're heavily affected. Okay, there's one. Nvidia, that thing got pounded. AI, it's a progressive stock. It's been one of the winners, but the secret is they make a lot of the chips that they use are made in Taiwan. And that's where they got hit with tariffs. It's not super high. I think it's 10%, something like that in Taiwan. I could be mistaken. I know there's punishing tariffs. They put high tariffs on a lot of these manufacturing countries. So you got to be careful. You don't necessarily want to buy into some of those stocks that are actually affected by the tariffs. But there's an old saying, don't throw out the baby with the bathwater. Yeah, well, guess what? That's what's happened last 2 days of trading where the market's taken such a hit. There's stocks that aren't going to be affected by these tariffs, and people panic and sell it. And you just got to wonder, are some of these hedge fund managers that are doing a lot of the selling? Because if you think about it, the big moves down and stuff, that's billions of dollars of hedge fund money. They're big sellers in there. That's not the retail investors. You just got to wonder, are some of those hedge fund guys trying to stick it to Trump? Yeah, that's what could be happening. It's a political message they're trying to send them. So there's a lot of chaos. When the markets, it's very like, it's like a baby. They start crying all the time over little things, over pure silliness. They'll work these tariffs out. They'll fine tune it. They'll figure it out. I think everyone's like ready. The Wall Streeters, those hedge fund guys, they're ready to like throw the whole thing in the toilet the way they were trading. And like I said, it could be political too. But here's what you got to keep in mind. There's certain companies that are just great and they're making good money and nothing's changed with the way they're operating. That's an opportunity right there to get their stock at a very good price, right? Also, if you have stocks and they're not in companies that are heavily affected by the tariffs, don't sell them. How dumb is that? Why would you sell them when there's a chaos like that? That's what people do. They get emotional about the market, and that's what messes up their investments. Yep. My girlfriend actually was saying, I want to sell stock. I want to sell I'm like, no, don't do any of that. You just hold it. Yeah, the stocks that are not going to be heavily impacted by tariffs, now you can get them at a super deal. It's like a buying opportunity. Once the chaos settles down, it's time to buy. I was talking about this in my comment section from time to time. I mentioned I have CCL, Carnival Cruise Line. Yeah, I'm just holding that. I think the bag's right behind me from my cruise. It's a great company. They had good earnings. They're doing great now. The pandemic's passed. I could tell the casino deals, you can tell by how generous they are with those. If they start getting tighter with those deals, it means that they're fully booked. They got plenty of people sailing on the cruises. Perfect opportunity. You could buy in. And I'm going to be doing that, I think, this week. Get some more at a discount. It will be back up. It was headed up to 30 before, earlier in the year. It's just a bunch of nonsense. A lot of it's political. So, yeah, you got to hold the course. You don't panic. Otherwise, you'll be one of these guys that sells low and they buy high. Because every time it's rosy, people think the market's good. They buy in, but they're paying a high price. Then when it gets shaky, they sell it. Nah, you don't want to do that. That's the whole problem people fall into. That's why a lot of people aren't that successful with it. The guys Ken and I watch, the live traders, they said they've trained thousands of people. They have a whole class set up. They're up in Canada, by the way. They have like a whole office set up where a lot of people can be at computers and doing trading. And they've walked people through doing live trading. One of the guys said out of like 10,000 people that he's trained, there's only a handful of them that actually are successful and can do this. Yeah, it's not necessarily something that can provide you with a steady income. No, it's like feast or famine. You might make a ton of money one year, the next year you might not make any money. That's why when you hear about people doing like day trading or stock trades, most people aren't successful with that. And then if you have a family and you got to pay bills, like you need to have like steady money coming in, that makes it even worse. Yeah. That's why the odds are very slim to be able to pull that off. You might be able to do it for a little bit, then something like this happens, and then you can't do it. I was telling Ken that drop off on Friday, 2,000 points or whatever, 2,200 points. I remember years back, the market was only like 8,000 points. And I remember days when it went down like 500. Yeah, if you multiply it up to today's levels, that's the same kind of thing. 2,500 point in one day with today's levels, same kind of drop. It happens. People forget. It happens from time to time. It's a shakeup with the market. You got to be real careful. And if you're doing trading, when you have stuff like that going on, it might be a good time to take a little vacation from it. You can get burned both ways. There's ways to make money by short selling when stocks are going down. Yeah, you can make money both ways, but it's very risky when there's so much volatility because you might think that it's going to crash or it's going to keep sliding. You short sell it, and then it does like a whiplash turn and it spikes up and you'll be burned. That's why those kind of days, well, you want to do the trading, you want predictable days. Like you want to see a cycle going, stocks that repeat the way they go. Each day they have like a similar pattern going on. Yeah, when things are calm like that, that's when to do trading. It's my advice as a veteran trader, pretty much. By the way, guys, there was in my comment section, some of the guys commented. One guy liked to comment a lot on my stock trades. And I don't know what happened here, guys. This is crazy, but he put a comment in there and he said something about I was censoring his comments. And then he took the comment, or I saw one of his comments and he said like, that's it, I'm done. You censored my comment or something like that. I don't know what exactly happened. It had nothing to do with me. I wasn't even doing anything on my phone that day. I was busy doing other stuff and I happened to see the comments came up and he was all mad that I censored something. Nothing to do with me. I didn't even see exactly what comments he was even putting or what happened. Yeah, once in a while that the system, the YouTube system, it picks up keywords, sometimes maybe numbers trigger it. Yeah, that's what happened. The system took the comments down, whatever he was putting up. And that's happened to me too. I've even put up comments. I've even answered some people's comments. And after I get done like with the writing it, I click reply and it says something like user not found, or the comment goes up and then it goes off later. I'm like, what's going on with this? Yeah, I think it's something to do with numbers. Dinger had this problem when he was we were trying to meet at McDonald's. He sent me something with an address and the comment I didn't even see it. It didn't even come through. The numbers, that's probably what's doing it. Something to do with numbers. So yeah, one of my subscribers, I don't know what happened. He might have had a bad week too. If he does the stocks, I don't know what happened. He was on me for recommending CCL. Yeah, I don't know. I think it's a good company. It's going to go up. Let's face it. But with that being said, I don't want to tell people anything about, oh, this is surefire. You're going to make a lot of money. No, I don't want to do that either. Okay, I'm just telling you what I'm doing. That's all I'm telling you. Because anytime you like throw stuff out there, it, it's not a given. It's not necessarily going to work out. And I don't want people to be mad with me over stuff like that. That's why I don't tell them. I don't tell people my trades usually. I don't do it on YouTube, the trades. Because if it if they lose money, they're going to be peed at me. And a lot of times when I'm doing the trading, I do it in such a fast frequency that I don't even have time to explain the stuff I'm doing if I'm like videoing it. Sometimes I'm in and out in a few minutes. And if I say something and then I cash out with a profit and then later the thing crashes down, people are going to get pissed. Yeah, if I don't update it, it's a tricky game. It's very tricky. But I haven't been even trading. I've been trying to take it easy from stocks, doing vacation and stuff. That's why I'll do it again. I'll be back trading again. But some of the things I do, if I'm passionate about a company, I'll hold it long term. I'll stock up on something. If I think it's got a future and the business model's good, yeah, that's a different story. I buy it and we'll just wait. Just wait on it. That's the difference between the casino and stocks. In the casino, you press the button, your play goes through, and whatever happens, happens. And that's the end of it. It's different with a stock. You can let it ride. Just keep it. What may be a loser this week may be a giant winner in a few months from now. That's how it works. That's the craziness of it. That's why when you see like these market dips, like what happened this week, yeah, guess what? This coming week, it might be time to buy some of this stuff. Yeah, but don't buy the ones that are in fact where the business is actually going to be affected badly by the tariff. Don't do that. But buy stuff that companies that got thrown out, the baby got thrown out with the bathwater. That's what you want to buy. So, yeah, I apologize if comments got taken down or deleted. That's part of the system. We can't, you know how the system works. It's not me. I haven't even had time. I did not have time to even look at some of these comments, and the guy got upset that the comment disappeared. It probably has to do with the numbers that are in there. So, we can't, nothing's perfect. We can't make it perfect here. It is partially censored, let's put it that way. But it's not by me. So, that's my take on it. That's my take on the market. It will come back. It'll come back. The companies themselves are doing okay. It's not, the economy is doing good. It added jobs. I don't think it's the time to really completely panic about what was going on Thursday and Friday. That was a little over the top. Just gonna forget it. I told Leslie, I'm like, don't even look. Don't even look. What are you talking about selling? Don't even look. That's dumb. Just hold on to the stuff. It will come back up. With that being said, also, don't put, like when you do stocks, don't put everything, don't bet the ranch on it. You gotta portion things out. Yeah, put a certain amount so that if there is bad weather, bad days, you're not going to be crying. Portion it out. There's other things you can invest in as well. Yeah, you don't want to do everything in one. Don't put all your eggs in one basket. That's it. Yeah. Hey, you learned valuable things here from this trader. Don't put all your eggs in one basket and don't throw the baby with the bathwater, right? I could sum it up without even going in stressing over all the details of it. That's how you play it. And stuff that's down now, they'll be the money makers at the end of the year probably. So yeah, have at it. But be careful, not the ones pumped way up and are directly affected by tariffs badly. Yeah, other things. All right, guys. Hey, hit the thumbs up. Your friend, New York Dan. And I'll try to come at you this evening with the Fort Lauderdale video. I just got to let that run through the checks. Yeah, there's a lot of stuff. By the way, if you're watching the video and you hear that I'm saying, oh boy, there's a lot of music here, and you don't hear it, that's because I run it through a check and it has to remove some of that music. They actually do it, I think, with AI. Yeah, the platform does it, but it takes a while. So with the video like that, I put it up early and let it work on it, and then I'll be able to put it out later. But that's a great time. I love Fort Lauderdale. It's a nice place. I just wish it wasn't so damn windy out. That was terrible. It's like ruining the experience. That's the risk you run, though, with all the whole area of South Florida along the Atlantic. Yeah, it's the risk you run. It can be windy over there at times. All depends on the weather patterns. So, but that definitely the best beaches around. I mean, over on the Gulf side, Gulf side, it has the water is different. You don't get usually you don't get ridiculously big waves, but the water is kind of like, it kind of looks cloudy. It may look bluish, but it's like more cloudy. It's usually not crystal clear. And the beach in general, I kind of feel like the beaches aren't as good over there. They've also had a lot of problems with the red tide. So keep that in mind. If you're doing a Florida vacation, check out my videos where I've been all over Florida here. And I show you what looks good and what doesn't. And I can tell you that, yeah, the beaches, South Florida, very good. However, one other tip I have for you. If you go out to the Keys, there's beaches out there, a lot of them that have very shallow water. You have to go way out, and there's like seaweed and stuff that you step on that might be squishy. Yeah. So the Keys are beautiful to look at. A lot of people like going fishing out of there too. You can get a good fishing charter. But as for the actual swimming, the water to swim in, it's not really that good on the Keys. I bet a lot of people don't even realize that. Yeah, it's not the best. You're better off going to Lauderdale if you want a nice beach to swim at. For real. But check the weather. If it's going to be windy, you saw the waves in my Fort Lauderdale videos, how big those waves are. Yeah, try swimming in that. It's not good. So, something to consider. By the way, someone just told me that the Key West, yeah, they charge you money to park now out there, even if you're in a car. And I was saying, I used to go out there and sleep overnight in my car. They're like, no more. They charge money for parking out there. It's gotten expensive. So that's something to consider. Key West, it's a bit of a drive. And you might want to plan it out, visit some state parks and stuff along the way out there on the Keys. But it's hard to do it on the cheap. And even on YouTube, some of the stealth campers, or they have like vans, they've gotten skunked if they go out there. Yeah, you're going to attract attention. You're under a microscope with a vehicle. Yeah, you probably have to bite the bullet and stay in a hotel if you're a tourist. Most likely, unless you find a campground or something along those lines. Do like a tent camp. Hopefully no lizards will come into your tent or snakes. All right, guys. Yeah, I hope everyone's having a good weekend. Hope you're having a good one this afternoon. And yeah, hopefully we'll have a good week coming up here. Maybe the market will even get back on track. Who knows? Hit the thumbs up. Your friend, New York Dan. I'll be back at you later with some cool video.